Okay, so yesterday I made a very lighthearted video about my dream puppy and kind of happy stuff. Sorry, this light is really bright. Happy stuff yesterday. But today I want to talk about something rather dark. Not dark as in like dark, just sad. I have to talk about something sad because I didn't fully acknowledge it yesterday, and today feels like the right time. It is on the verge of thunderstorming. I am on duty. It just feels like a good time to talk about this. So yesterday morning, one of my childhood friends, her mother lost her battle with cancer, and it is not my mom, which I can be grateful for, but this woman was one of the most holy people I think I've ever met. She was a force at our church. She was a steady, constant support to her 5 wonderful children. And she was just a true gift from God while she was on earth. And I can't imagine what my friend is going through. She's my age. She is a rising junior in college. I can't picture the devastation that she is going through right now. I did send her a message later on in the day just to say that I was here for her and that if she wanted to talk that I was there. We haven't been close probably since junior or senior year of high school. Went to different colleges in different states, and you know, I would run into her at church during, you know, breaks and stuff, and we've always been friendly. We've never been super close. We were super close when we were in middle school because I didn't have any other friends. She lived in my town, and she was just a great friend. And she's a wonderful person. She is also very saint-like and holy. And it was really hard on, you know, my family. Their family has always been a family that we have admired. They're very loving and kind and wonderful people. Beautiful people inside and out. Just a lovely family all around, and I really do feel for them and pray for them that they will be able to grieve properly and mourn her, and eventually that grief will lessen. I know it will take a very long time. It's not an easy thing to lose anyone, but especially your support figure in your mother, and the, you know, matriarch of your family. She had cancer for 6 years, and when she was diagnosed, initially the thought was that she wouldn't live to see my friend graduate from high school. So the fact that she beat those odds and lived for 6 years and got to see 3 of her children married or engaged, and meet one of her grandchildren is amazing and wonderful and a gift. But cancer can kiss my ass because it is so shitty. And I try not to swear. I do my best not to swear, but fuck cancer. When I was 5 years old, my mother was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is traditionally an older person's cancer. My mom was 34, I think, at the time. She was lucky. She fought really hard and kicked cancer's ass and has been cancer-free for 10 years. But she is currently a Livestrong instructor, which means she coordinates a Livestrong program at a YMCA, which is a program that gets cancer survivors, which is defined as anyone who has been diagnosed with cancer at any point in their life, whether they're in the midst of treatment, although that's not likely to be the case, but if they're just in remission, if they're 6 months into remission, if they're 3 years out of their fight, whatever stage, and they get back into exercising. And the idea is that they heal their bodies, because cancer makes you so thin and ill and feel like you can't do anything, and the point is to get you back onto your feet and feel like you are strong again. And my mom puts herself in the path of her worst days time and time again with this program, which I can't imagine can be very easy. My mom is an absolutely fantastic person. She brings so much light to that program and to everyone she meets. She is doing God's work. But, of course, through that program, she's made a number of friends who have, unfortunately, later lost either a second battle or lost their initial battle. Because their cancer has come back. And it's hard for her every single time that she loses someone, because obviously she cares deeply for these people and wants to help them through their disease and their fight. And she has also lost, we have known many families whose members have been affected by cancer. This most recent death only being one of 3 or 4 very, very influential people in my young life and my mom's life, people that she considers pretty good friends. And yesterday morning, when we found out, I was talking to my mom, and this was the hardest part. She was just talking about just how it always seems to affect the best people. My friend's mom, obviously being one of them. She was a great woman, an inspiration for a good mother, an inspiration for a good wife, for a good grandmother, for a good motherly person. It's just really hard to think about the fact that such lovely, loving, perfect people, I mean, not perfect, nobody's perfect, but it's close to saints on earth as you can get, are the kind of people who get these diseases. And it's not like I haven't had other family members who have had cancer. My grandmother has had a bout with cancer. My great aunts have had cancer. My mom was so concerned about BRCA in her family that she got tested because she had cancer and she doesn't want to have to go through it again. She tested negative for BRCA 1 and 2. But I don't know, yesterday was really hard and it didn't feel right to not acknowledge it. So I'm sorry if this was a little bit more Debbie Downer than normal. I just had to talk about this and had to get it off my chest. The really hard thing is, as a biologist, I know what goes wrong. And I'm sure a lot of people in my position, young students of science and medicine, and younger doctors and older doctors and young researchers and old researchers, everyone has to get this frustration that it's such a common disease that people have to go through intense treatment where they lose their hair, their sense of identity, sometimes losing body parts, and having to go under intense radiation and take these horrible drugs. And it's just that there has to be something else out there. And that is another reason that I didn't really talk about when I talked about genetic counseling, of a big part of what genetic counseling entails is a lot of working with people who have predispositions to cancer. So, as much as I sometimes think that my mom could have chosen a different career so that she didn't put herself in the way of meeting people that she would fall in love with, and seeing them pass, I'm about to do the same thing. But that work has to be done, and it has to be done by compassionate, kind people like my mom, people that I aspire to be. So, long story short, TLDR, fuck cancer, and let's find a cure, right? Nobody else should have to go through what my friend's family is going through right now. They shouldn't have to have gone through it in the first place. I say it's wonderful that she got 6 years post her diagnosis, but she shouldn't have had to worry about, those 6 years. She should have grown old and watched her grandbabies have grandbabies. And I know that she's in a better place now. And that she's at peace and at rest and not fighting anymore. And I pray for her family, that they can acknowledge their pain and move past it eventually, and feel it, and remember what an amazing woman she is. So, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, hopefully with a lighter subject, but I had to acknowledge this. I was trying to ignore it yesterday, and that's just not the way to go about things. So, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.